Now let's talk about three new rules. We're going to talk about alternate interior. You guys can see my titles. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, and same side interior. Okay, so yesterday we started talking about parallels and the transversal. So let me do examples over here on top of our names. For each of these, let me draw two parallel lines in a transversal. Let's just assume that those are lines and the two that seem to be parallel are parallel with a transversal. Now, alternate, because I see I have alternate interior, alternate exterior. Alternate means they're on different sides of the transversal. So it means one of my angles that I'm dealing with is going to be on the left side of the transversal, and the other angle is going to be on the right side of the transversal. So one on one side and then the other one on the other side. Okay. That's what alternate means. Interior means they're going to be in between the parallel lines. So let me mark this with red. An example of alternate interior could be this angle with this angle, right? The angles are separated by the transversal. So one of them is on one side and then the other one's on the other side. So that alternate. They're both in between the parallel lines, so they're interior. So that's what we call alternate interior. Now, alternate exterior, as you guys can imagine for alternate, they're on different sides of the transversal. So one of them is on one side, the other one's on the other side. But exterior means they're outside of the parallel lines. So an example could be this angle with this angle. So you guys can see one of them is on one side of the transversal, the other one's on the other. And then exterior means they're not in between the parallel lines. Now I'm going to say alternate interior and alternate exterior. These two angles are equal to each other. So whenever I'm dealing with them, they are equal to each other. Now, same side interior, the name kind of says it all. Same side. They're on the same side of the transversal. So they're both on the left side, they're both on the right side, they're on the same side. Interior means in between the parallel lines. So I'm looking at this angle with this angle. Notice how they're on the same side of the transversal. They're both on the same side. And interior means they're in between the parallel lines. Now, same side interior angles are going to add up to 180. They're not equal to each other. I just add them up and equals to 180. So the first part is identifying the angles. Identify each pair of angles as alternate interior, alternate exterior, or same side interior. Question number 13, I'm dealing with these two angles. I see my parallel lines. I see my transversal. I see these two angles are on the left side of my transversal, so they're on the same side, and they're both in between the lines, so they're interior. So in my case, I'm going to call this same side interior. Now, when I'm looking at number 14, I see my parallel lines. I see my transversal, and I'm dealing with this angle and this angle. I see they're different sides of the transversal. One of them is on one side, the other one's on the outside. So that means this is an alternate because they're on different sides of the transversal. Because my angles are in between the parallel lines, I call this interior. Remember, this area, so this space in between the parallel lines, we'll call interior, inside. If it's not inside, if it's then it's outside, we call that exterior. Okay, let's take a look at number 15. I see my parallel lines, see my transversal, I see my angles here. I see angle Y is on the right side of the transversal. I see angle X is on the other side. So that's definitely alternate. Remember, inside is in between the parallel lines. That's not where my angles are. They're outside. So outside, we call that exterior. And lastly, let's take a look at number 16. I see my parallel lines. I see my transversal. I see X is on one side of the transversal and I see Y is on the other side. So that's definitely alternate. The space in between the parallel lines is the inside. That's where my angles are. So interior. To learn about angles, find the measure of each angle indicated. I see here I'm dealing with alternate exterior. Now, alternate interior or alternate exterior, either one of the two angles are equal to each other. So one of them is 69. I'm gonna say the other one is also 69. Looking at looking at number 18, I see my parallel lines. I see my transversal. I see these two angles are alternate interior. And I said alternate interior or alternate exterior, either of the two angles are congruent, right? Same number. So here, if one of them is 45, I'm going to say the other angle is also 45. Now, for question number 19, here I'm dealing with same side interior. Now, same side interior, these two angles have to add up to 180. So when I add these two numbers has to equal to 180. Can you figure what that number is? Probably you can already figure out in your mind, like, oh, I know what it is. What number plus 74 equals 180? If you cannot see it, then we're going to use algebra steps. This thing that I don't know the value of, I'm going to call it x. And I know that x plus 74 is equal to 180. It's basically what I just said earlier. You add the two and equals to 180. Let me separate them through the equal sign. This plus 74, let me move it over as a minus 74. I know 180 minus 74 is 106. So x equals 106. Oh yeah, that angle was 106 because 106 plus 74 is 180. Now looking at number 20, what's that? Well, I see my parallel lines. I see my transversal. I see these two angles are alternate exterior. And remember I said alternate interior or alternate exterior. The angles are congruent. So that means the angles are the same. If one of them is 46, then the other angle is also 46. Same idea, we're going to deal with questions 21 through 24, but here we're solving for x. So there's an x involved. We're going to have to do some algebra. We have to solve for the value of x. My answer would just be the number, the value of x. Okay, so here, so you guys can see we're dealing with same side interior, right? This angle with this other angle, they're same side interior. Remember for same side interior, I said you add everything and equals to 180. So let me just go -2 plus 15x minus 7 plus 12x is equal to 180. And I'm going to separate my sides through the equal sign. The left side, let me combine like terms. 15x plus 12x. I know 15 plus 12 is 27. So let me call this 27x. Then I see a -2 with a -7. Okay, I'm going to add the numbers because they have the same sign. -2 and a -7 gives me a -9 or a -9, however you guys want to call it. If they had different signs, I will subtract the value, keep the sign of the large one. So, but here -9, this is all equal to 180. All I did on the left side was combine like terms. I want the term that has the x by itself. So I want the 27x by itself. This -9, Let me move it to the other side as a plus 9. Don't forget to switch the sign. So 27x is equal to 189. Right? 180 plus 9 is 189. To get the x by itself, let me divide both sides by 27. 189 divided by 27 happens to be 7. So the value of x is 7. Take a look at number 22. Here, this angle and this other angle, they happen to be alternate interior. I know for alternate interior, those two angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to say that x plus 130 is equal to 120. Let me separate my sides to the equal sign. This plus 130, let me move it to the other side as a minus 130. Don't forget to switch the sign. So on the left side, I have the x by itself. On the right side, 120 minus 130 is equal to negative 10. So x is equal to negative 10. My answer is just negative 10, just a number. You don't have to type in x equals, just type in negative 10. Looking at number 23, what's this? This angle with this angle. Is this alternate interior? Is this alternate exterior? Or is this same side interior? Well, one angle's on the left side of the transversal, the other angle's on the right side, so that's alternate. It's not in between the parallel lines, so that's exterior. So this is alternate exterior. And I know for alternate exterior, those two angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to write down 15x minus 5 equals 13x plus 11. Let me separate my sides to the equal sign. Now, I wish I could combine my like terms, and I can combine them if they are on the same side. I see 15x on the left side, I see 13x on the right side. I want to have them on the same side. So in this case, let me move the smaller x. I want to avoid negatives as much as possible. So I'm going to move the smaller x. So in this case, 13x, I'm going to move it as negative 13x. Don't forget to switch the sign. And this minus 5, let me move it over as a plus 5. Remember, you got to switch the signs. Notice I moved letters to one side, in this case, the left side. And anything that did not have a letter, I move it to the other side. So letters on one side, numbers on the other. On the left side, I know 15 minus 13 is 2. So 15x minus 13x is going to be 2x. 11 plus 5, here, 11 plus 5 is 16. Now to get the x by itself, let me divide both sides by 2. So 1x is equal to 8, right? 16 divided by 2 is 8. There, x equals 8. Lastly, let's take a look at number 24. These two angles. Well, that is same side interior, right? And I remember for same side interior, I add everything. So let me go x plus 87 plus x plus 107 equals 180. Remember, that's what I do for same side interior. Add the two angles and equals to 180. Let me separate them through the equal sign. Let me combine my like terms. I see 1x plus 1x. This is a plus sign. 1x plus 1x. I know 1 plus 1 is 2. So 1x plus 1x equals 2x. And then I see 87 plus 107. So 87 plus 107 is equal to 194. So let me just write this plus 194. This is equal to 180. I want the 2x by itself, so this plus 194, let me move it to the other side as a minus 194. So I get that 2x is equal to negative 14, right? 180 minus 194 gives me negative 14. Let me divide both sides by 2. So I get that x is equal to -7. There you go.